in LinkedIn, as a business scenario, you want to think about this as if you had a PR company that was representing you, how would you want them to represent you to the world, even though you're writing it yourself? You want them to say, Ms. Monica has done this, and she has done that, and she's worked here, and she's received these awards. And so a lot of times, because you get stuck in the I, right? Monica was this way, and I did this, and I did that, and you have to think about yourself almost here in the third person, and think about switching your role from being the one who's doing it to someone who is promoting yourself.
Well, I understand about the third person part, but I was talking more about the formalities, because I have never really been addressed as Miss So-and-so. Like, even though I've had like been in corporate environment and everything, we've always been informal with each other, even addressing the CEO by his first name type of thing. So I've never been in that scenario. So when I address myself and I talk about myself in the third party, or in the third person, I always just make it casual and use my first name without any kind of formal salutation.
No, I understand.
So, but is that something that actually makes me look bad to other people? Because I don't know.
There are some people who would judge you based on formality. People, so this whole conversation is about how someone externally views you. So even to people who are younger than me, I will say, thank you, sir. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. How are you, Mr. Gonzalez? How are you doing today? And part of it is, I'm from the South. So I'm from Virginia. That's what we did. But part of it is also showing a level of respect, because you can always tone it down and get more casual, but you can't play it up if that was what somebody was looking for. So what I would say to you is you want to give yourself the maximum opportunity, and in that way, if you can be a little more formal, people will tell you, hey, that's okay, you can call me Terrence. But it's nice if you said, how are you today, Mr. Coles? Little boy comes over to my house to play with my son. He knocks on the door, and this little kid's running in my house and saying, "Hey, Terrence," excuse me. So just I'm only using that to say, think about going into somebody's house and somebody's personal space, because in business, people do think about how you're related to and how they're related to, and that does hold some weight for some people. So for me, out of an abundance of caution. And I'll just put this out there, particularly as a minority, always have to play to the highest standard that you can play to, because you can always let people play it down for you. But if you come across as too casual, too flippant, too much like, oh, that's your buddy, all the rest, some people are like, I'm not your buddy, I'm somebody who can give you a $100,000 a year job. And so just think about, and also, the audience here, the people who could look at this could be everybody from the CEO of Disney or DreamWorks, down to a peer, down to someone aspirationally looking up to you. But either way, that more formal tone can carry weight in certain circumstances. Again, and that's my personal choice, is I always want to play to the highest level in the room, and I can always back up. And someone can always let you back up. But you should treat yourself that you are owed that same level of respect. Right? People will treat you how you treat yourself. And part of this, in terms of especially the kinds of companies and places that you're going to go and people that you're going to speak with, they want to see that you have a level of acumen. I'll use a good example. I went over to Heartbeat Productions. Talked to the head of Heartbeat Productions. He's talking about what he wants in an intern. He was saying, well, I want somebody who can come in and soak it up and learn when not to say something. When to say something. When to address someone in a certain way. If you are at Heartbeat Productions and Kevin Hart were to walk by you, you don't want to be like, hey, Kevin, Can I get your autograph? How you doing? Can you sign this for me? Let me take a selfie. How are you, Mr. Hart? Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here at Heartbeat Productions. I appreciate your time. If you have that conversation, the likelihood that he can then invite you, hey, great, nice to meet you too. Do you want to grab a selfie? Do you want some, because you've shown him a certain level of respect. And ultimately, if someone walks on your set or your production, they should treat you with that level of respect. You should expect that if you're running a production in here and you're going to go out and do a shoot and you crew up and you go and get a high school kid, you should have them ultimately understand and respect that position. And in that case, you may be Ms. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so. And that also helps as you help other people up the ladder so they learn those things. So part of it is also people will treat or do that as you lay it out. So long answer for why I do what I do, but